You and your friend eat the exact same meal, but only one of you gains weight. Same calories, same food, and somehow your gut ends up storing more fat. The real reason isn't your willpower, your metabolism, or even your genes. Research suggests the bacteria living in your gut may control how much you absorb. Your gut is home to roughly 100 trillion bacteria, all working constantly. Among all those species, two major bacterial groups run the show in your large intestine. They're called Firmicutes and Bacteroidetes, and they work in opposite ways. The ratio between these two groups varies dramatically from person to person. And that ratio, research suggests, may influence how many calories your body actually keeps. Let's zoom in and see exactly what these two bacterial armies are doing inside you. So what is actually throwing off this delicate bacterial balance in the first place? The first culprit is something most people eat every single day: ultra-processed food. Ultra-processed foods are packed with refined sugars that Firmicutes bacteria love to feed on. When Firmicutes thrive, studies indicate they extract more energy from every bite you eat. That means your body is storing extra calories that someone else's gut would simply pass through. But diet isn't the only thing disrupting your Firmicutes and Bacteroidetes balance. The second culprit is antibiotic use, and its effect on your gut bacteria is significant. Antibiotics don't just target harmful bacteria, they wipe out Bacteroidetes colonies too. With Bacteroidetes depleted, Firmicutes can expand rapidly and tilt the ratio off balance. Research suggests this imbalance can persist for months, even after the antibiotics are gone. And here's the third culprit, one that quietly starves your good bacteria every day. Bacteroides depend on dietary fiber to survive, but most people don't eat nearly enough. Without fiber, Bacteroidetes shrink in number, and Firmicutes quietly take over your gut. But here's where it gets really fascinating. The damage goes much deeper than just calories. Firmicutes carry enzymes that break down complex carbs your body normally cannot digest. This means they pull out extra energy from food that would otherwise leave your body unused. Research indicates gut bacteria differences may account for up to 150 calories per day. Over 1 year, that gap can add up to more than 10 pounds of body weight difference. High Firmicutes levels have also been linked to stronger hunger signals in the brain. Your gut produces a hormone called ghrelin, often referred to as the hunger hormone. When Firmicutes dominate, studies suggest ghrelin signals spike, making you feel hungry sooner. Now, healthy gut bacteria produce something called short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs. One of these compounds helps feed the gut lining and keep inflammation under control. But when Firmicutes dominate, production of these acids drops, and gut inflammation can follow. Chronic gut inflammation has been linked to something called insulin resistance in research. Insulin resistance makes it harder for your cells to process sugar and easier to store fat. The good news is that your gut bacteria ratio is not fixed. It can actually shift and change. Research shows that what you eat can begin reshaping your gut bacteria within just a few days. The first approach research points to is increasing your intake of soluble dietary fiber. Soluble fiber acts as a food source specifically for Bacteroidetes, helping them multiply. Studies indicate that higher fiber diets are linked to greater microbiome diversity overall. Good sources of soluble fiber include oats, legumes, apples, and root vegetables like carrots. The second approach involves something humans have been eating for thousands of years. Fermented foods contain live bacteria that research suggests may support a healthier gut balance. These foods introduce beneficial strains like lactobacillus and bifidobacterium to your gut. These bacteria compete for space and resources, helping keep Firmicutes populations in check. Examples include plain yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, and miso, all with no added sugar. Here's something most people don't realize. Plant pigments may also reshape your gut bacteria. These pigments are called polyphenols, and they are found naturally in colorful plant foods. Studies indicate polyphenols may selectively reduce harmful firmicutes and support bacteroidetes growth. Berries, dark leafy greens, green tea, and even dark chocolate are all rich in polyphenols. The fourth approach is about removing the fuel that overfeeds firmicutes in the first place. When ultra-processed foods decrease, the main food supply for excess firmicutes begins to shrink. Studies suggest even small reductions in processed food can begin shifting your bacterial ratio. The fifth approach works alongside fermented foods, and it's called prebiotic nutrition. Probiotics add bacteria to your gut, but prebiotics are the food that feeds them once there. Key prebiotic compounds include inulin and other fermentable fibers that directly feed bacteroidetes. Garlic, onions, asparagus, leeks, and bananas are all naturally rich in prebiotic compounds. Research suggests eating 30 or more different plant foods per week supports microbiome diversity. The picture is clear. Your gut bacteria respond to what you consistently put on your plate. So let's put all of this science into a simple, practical starting plan for your gut. In your first week, focus on just one thing. Add a fiber-rich food to each main meal. Oats at breakfast, legumes at lunch, and roasted carrots at dinner is a solid first step. In week 2, bring in one fermented food each day to begin adding beneficial bacteria. Plain yogurt or a small serving of kimchi with a meal requires almost no extra effort. In week 3, swap one ultra-processed snack for a polyphenol-rich whole food option. A small handful of mixed berries has more microbiome benefit than most packaged snack foods. From there, aim to add variety. Try to eat from 30 or more plant sources each week. Each new plant type you eat introduces different fibers that feed different beneficial bacteria. If you are managing a specific gut condition, talk to your healthcare provider before making big changes. Let's take a moment to look at what your gut has been quietly telling you all along. The reasons some people never seem to gain weight may come down to their gut bacteria ratio. Firmicutes and Bacteroidetes, and the balance between them shape how your body handles calories. Understanding how your gut works is the first step to working with your body, not against it. If this gave you a new way to think about your gut, subscribe and drop a question below.